Have you ever wished you could read someone's mind? Like, know exactly what your dog is thinking when it stares at you, or what your friend asterisk really asterisk thinks about your new haircut. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, what if I told you that science is getting closer to making this a reality than you might think? Today, we're diving deep into the incredible and slightly creepy world of mind-reading technology. Is it real? Is it fake? And should we be excited or terrified? Let's find out first. Let's get one thing straight. When we say mind-reading, we're not talking about telepathy or psychic powers. We're talking about brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs. These are devices that can analyze your brain activity and translate it into something understandable, like text or speech. The core idea is that every thought you have, every word you think of, every image you picture in your mind creates a unique pattern of electrical signals in your brain. The challenge for scientists is to capture these signals and decode them. So how do they do it? There are a few different methods. One of the most common is called electroencephalography, or EEG. You've probably seen those caps with a bunch of wires and electrodes on them. Those electrodes measure the electrical activity of your brain from the outside of your scalp. It's non-invasive, meaning they don't have to open up your head, which is a big plus. EEG can tell if you're feeling relaxed, focused, or sleepy, and it's getting better at more complex tasks. For example, researchers have used EEG to allow people to control robotic arms or type on a screen just by thinking about it. Pretty cool, right? But EEG has its limits. Imagine trying to listen to a single conversation in the middle of a packed football stadium. That's kind of what EEG is doing. The skull blurs the brain signals, making it hard to get a precise reading. To get a clearer signal, you need to get closer to the source. This is where more invasive methods come in, like electrocorticography or ECOG. This involves placing a grid of electrodes directly on the surface of the brain. Yeah, it requires brain surgery, so it's usually only done for patients who are already undergoing surgery for other reasons, like epilepsy. The results from ECOG are mind-blowing. Scientists have been able to reconstruct words and even sentences that a person was thinking just by analyzing their brain activity. In one famous study, researchers were able to decode brain signals with up to 90% accuracy as a person listened to speech. They then used this decoder to predict what words a person was imagining saying. It's not perfect, but it's a huge leap forward. Another technique is functional MRI or fMRI. This machine tracks blood flow in the brain. When a part of your brain is active, it needs more oxygen, so more blood flows to it. fMRI can create a 3D map of this activity. Using fMRI, scientists have done some truly incredible things. A team in Japan managed to recreate images that people were looking at. They showed participants thousands of images while scanning their brains. Then they could show them a new image, and based on their brain activity alone, a computer program could sketch a blurry but recognizable version of what they were seeing. Think about that for a second. The machine was essentially seeing what was in the person's mind's eye. More recently, researchers have even managed to create videos from brain activity. They showed people movie trailers and were able to reconstruct rough, dreamlike versions of the videos. It's a bit like watching a ghost of a movie, but it proves the concept is possible. So does this mean we're on the verge of having a thought helmet that can read anyone's mind? Not so fast. There are some major hurdles. First, everyone's brain is different. A decoder trained on my brain activity wouldn't work on yours. Each system needs to be meticulously calibrated to the individual user, which takes a lot of time and data. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Second, the technology is still in its infancy. The fMRI machines are huge, expensive, and you have to lie perfectly still inside them. And the invasive methods, well, they require brain surgery, which is obviously a massive deal. Right now, the primary focus of this research is medical. Think about people who are locked in, completely paralyzed and unable to speak. but their minds are fully active. BCs could give them a voice. They could communicate with their loved ones, write books, or simply express their needs. It could completely transform their quality of life. For amputees, brain-controlled prosthetic limbs that can move and even feel are becoming a reality. These are undeniably positive, life-changing applications. But of course, there's a dark side. The ethical questions are enormous. What happens when this technology gets out of the lab and into the hands of corporations or governments? Imagine a future where your boss could monitor your focus level at work, or where advertisers could read your subconscious desires for their products. What about law enforcement? Could your thoughts be used against you in a court of law? This raises fundamental questions about mental privacy. Is our own mind the last bastion of true privacy? If we lose that, what's left? Many experts are calling for neurorights, a new set of human rights to protect us in the age of neurotechnology. These rights would include things like the right to mental privacy, the right to personal identity, and the right to free will. We need to have a serious public conversation about the rules and regulations for this technology before it becomes widespread. We need to decide as a society what we're comfortable with and where we draw the line. It's not about stopping scientific progress, but about guiding it in a way that benefits humanity without sacrificing our basic freedoms. So, is mind-reading technology real? Yes, in a way. We can decode brain signals to understand what someone is seeing, hearing, or intending to say. But are we close to the kind of telepathy you see in the movies, where you can read complex, abstract thoughts or secrets from an unwilling person? No, not even close. For now, the process requires bulky machinery, extensive calibration, and often the cooperation of the subject. The journey into the human brain is one of the last great frontiers of science. The potential to heal, to communicate, and to understand ourselves is immense. But with great power comes great responsibility. The development of mind-reading technology is a perfect example of this. It forces us to confront not just what is technologically possible, but what is ethically right. We are at a crossroads, and the decisions we make today will shape the future of what it means to be human. What do you think? Is the potential benefit worth the risk? Where should we draw the line? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's a fascinating and important conversation to have. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the brain, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content that makes you think. See you in the next one.